Not much, dude.
I hope we do all right.
I hope so.
Yeah. All three of them are B teams, but that doesn't mean fuck all.
Right.
They could just be sandbagging.
Hobor up to Mona's. Romans keep it in. Hobor lays his man out. Brady picks the puck up, fires it behind the net. Brown along the far boards. Breaks out, gets taken down. Puck at the red line. Romans fire back into the Orangeville zone. Brady across to Hobor. Hobor stretch pass to Clark. Romans dump it back in the Flyer zone. Puck in the far corner. Brady tried to get it to Brown. Brown steps in to help. Picks up the loose puck. Cross ice to Monas. Monas chips it to Brown. Brown gets the red line, dumps it in. Monas in on the forecheck. Romans cycle it to the near corner. To the blue line and out. Campbell backpedals into his zone. Cross to Tribble. Tribble back to Campbell. Campbell off the boards to Mason. Mason chips it off the boards. Middlehurst gets interfered with. Got the blue line. Romans change direction to the near corner. Tribble, good cringe to keep the play in. Romans ship it off the boards past everybody. Romans beat that puck for the icing. Play to the blue line. Middler's got a stick on it, still in. Shot blocked by Tribble. Mason loses the balance. Gets the puck to the blue line. Fired high over the net, into the glass. Rebound at the far corner. Romans still with control. Shot. Saved by Milks. He'll reel that in for a whistle. Loose puck picked up behind the net by Brady. He'll fire it around to the near boards. To the blue line. Martin battling there. Romans keep it in. Hit from behind. Romans are going to the box for two there. .7:23 to go in the first period. Brown in to take the draw. He'll win it back. Monas to Thompson at the blue line. Thompson shot, just couldn't get it off. Middlehurst to Thompson at the blue line. Thompson across to Brady. Hops over his stick. Brady gets hammered hard from behind. He felt that when he's down. Flyers trainer's taking a look at him. Sitting up. 5-minute major. 5-on-3 for 1:48. I know they gave him 5. I don't know if
he needs to get
I think he got 5, maybe the game. I don't know.
That was good.
Brown's in to take the draw. Romans win it. In the far, near corner. Chipped up to the blue line. Thompson moves in with it. Keeps the breaks. Gets it back to Brown at the blue line. Brown across to Campbell. Campbell moves in. Let's shot go. Blocked in front. Rebound to the near corner. Romans get a piece of it. Brown backpedals to the red line. Cross to Thompson. Thompson sends it to Campbell. Campbell brings it in the zone, chips it across, back to Thompson at the blue line. Thompson to Brown, Brown back to Thompson. Thompson kicks it into the near corner. Played off the boards, high above everybody. That'll go the length of the ice. Campbell in there to pick up that puck. Leaves it for Brown. Brown begins the breakout along the far boards. Gets the blue line. Drops it there. Moniz with a shot blocker save. Middlehurst behind the net. Sends it out front to Hobor. Hobor with the shot. Loose puck. Dragged out over the blue line. Campbell to Hobor. Hobor lets another one go. Shot saved by the Romans. .5:53 to go in the first period. Brown wins the draw to Moniz. Moniz to Hobor. To Campbell. Shot. Steered wide by the goalie. Moniz changes direction. Sends it deep. Behind the net for Brown. Brown to Middlehurst in the near corner. Back to Brown. Shot. Tipped wide. Moniz sends it there for Hobor. Hobor across. Moniz to Campbell. Campbell with the shot. Big rebound. Loose puck. Shot. Scores. Mason in to take the draw. He'll chip it forward. Arkema in over the blue line. Arkema takes it wide. Gets it deep to the near corner. Romans pick it up. Send that down the ice. On net. Milks sets it up for Thompson. Thompson in the near corner. Sends it off the boards. Romans intercept that. Back to Thompson. And he'll begin the breakup. Gets it up to Arkema at the red line. Arkema skates it in deep, drops it back for Tribble. Tribble just beat that one. Puck's in. Romans fire it out. Milks plays it to the far boards. To Thompson. Thompson to Mason. Mason across center ice in the Roman zone. Fired around boards. To Arkema. Arkema, a no-look pass. Nobody was home. Puck back in the Orangeville zone. Thompson to Tribble. Tribble out of his zone. Gets it up to Arkema at the Romans blue line. Sends it to Mason. Mason with a shot off the side of the net. Romans pick up that loose puck. Send it to the blue line. Just past Clark. Clark backhands it to Hobor. Hobor back to Clark. Clark backhands it off the boards to Mason. Mason just got caught up at the blue line. Hobor puts the brakes on. The Romans are on him. They'll send the puck in deep and pin it up against the boards. Loose puck. Campbell to Mason. Mason tries to pass, missed it. Gets it to the red line. Passed into Martin. Martin cross. Tried to get that to Clark. Romans pick it up and backhand that one back to the Flyer zone. Campbell picks it up behind the Orangeville net. Leaves it there for Middlehurst. Middlehurst stretched past to Martin. Just over his stick. He'll touch it for no icing. Romans pick it up, fired around the boards, past everybody. Back into the Flyer zone. Campbell. And deep into the Flyer zone, off the boards into neutral ice. Romans just dumped that back in. Nobody's talking out here. Romans backhand that. Campbell to Middlehurst. He'll get caught up in some traffic. Back to Campbell. Campbell skates it up to the red line. Chips it in. To the far corner. Middlehurst in on the forecheck. Puck comes around to Hobart at the blue line. Romans get a piece of it. And they'll break out. Campbell with a good stick to break that rush. Hobart dumps it in. Picked off by the Romans. Who will send it down the length of the ice. 2:30 to go in the period. 15 seconds to go on the penalty. Campbell to Critchley. Critchley centers it to Brown. Brown tried to get Critchley on the breakout. Picked off by the Romans. Hobart backhands that off the boards to Brown. Brown through center ice. In over the blue line. And all kinds of traffic there. Brown avoids a hit there. Critchley at the blue line. Keeps it in. Kicks it in deep to the near corner. Back to 5-on-5. Flyers still with the puck in the zone. Romans get it to the blue line and just out. In through neutral ice. They'll dump it in and go for a change. Tribble gets it to Thompson. Sends it up for the Romans. Loose puck just off the side of the net. Brown takes his man down. Moniz to Clark. Clark gets picked off. Moniz back at center ice. Dumps it in. Right to the Romans player. Romans through center ice. They'll backhand that to the far corner. Dribble got tripped up. No call. Moniz to the box. Two minutes for interference. Middlehurst in to take the draw. Won by the Romans. Cross. To the point. Clark almost had that. Romans fired it wide. Along the far boards. Back behind the goal line. Centering attempt. Clark fires it off the boards. That'll go the length of the ice. 45 seconds to go in the period. Romans set it up behind their net. Off the far boards to the Flyers' blue line. Campbell gets a piece of it, gets it to the red line. Romans regroup, neutral ice. Fired to the Flyers' blue line, kept out by Arkema. Arkema gets a piece of it, chips it over a stick. And again, keeps it deep. Arkema along the boards. Romans clear it to Hobart at the red line. He'll take a shot. And they'll save that one. Romans play it behind their net. Up to their blue line and out. Cross ice. 1 second to go. No goal. No goal. 1-0 after one. Go start the second. Mason in to take the draw. From off the draw, Romans get possession. Play it back to their blue line. Break it out. Neutral ice. Going over the Flyers zone. Steps around the defenseman. Shot thrown towards the net. Steered wide by the Flyers. Mason behind his net to the far corner to Hobor. Hobor backhands it to the blue line. Kept in. Mason, second effort. Gets it out of the Flyer zone to the center ice. Arkema with a good stick. Skates it back into his zone. Sets it up for Campbell. Campbell lifts it to the Romans blue line. They'll play that back to the Flyers blue line and break in. Shot, steered wide by Milks. Rebound to the far corner. Arkema gets a piece of it and sends it the length of the ice. Romans goalie sets it up behind his net. That'll do it for the Flyers penalty. Romans begin their breakout. In over the Flyers blue line. Shot, steered wide by Milks. Rebound comes to Arkema. He'll chip that in center ice. Pass almost picked off by Critchley. Romans dump it deeper into the Flyer zone. Campbell behind to Hobor. Hobor off the boards to Arkema. He'll let that go to the blue line. Kept in by the Romans. Romans in the near corner. Loose puck picked up by Mason. He'll just get that to center ice. Romans dump it back towards the Flyer zone. Campbell backpedaling. Lifts it to Brown. Brown steps around his man, gets it to Critchley. Just in front of him, couldn't quite keep control of it. Romans play it back into their zone. Puck's out. Martin to Brown. Brown with the shot blocker save. Critchley drives his man into the boards. Can't find the puck. Brown to the blue line to Thompson. Thompson lets one go. Shot blocked in front by Martin. Thompson across to Tribble. Tribble dumped that puck in deep. Flyers in on the forecheck. Critchley into the boards. Leaves it for Brown. Brown with the shot. Tipped wide. Martin in the right spot. Romans grab the puck for a whistle. .7:37 to go in the second period. Middlehurst in to take the draw. He'll win it. Romans get it to the blue line to Thompson. He'll fire it back deep. Clark in the far corner. Bumps his man. Tries center it. Picked off by the Romans. Romans off the boards. No breakout. In over the Flyer zone. Shot. Saved by Milks. Second shot. Pad save. Puck behind the Flyers net. Played to the blue line and out. Romans pick it up and skate it back into their zone. Send it to the Flyers blue line. They'll walk it in. Romans with the shot. Wide of the net. Rebound comes to the near boards. Clark gets bumped. He's checked up. Thompson to Tribble. Tribble to Moniz. To the blue line. Kept in. Shot. Blocked in front. Thompson kicks it to Middlehurst. Middlehurst over the blue line. Plays it around his man. Pucked in the far corner. Middlehurst bumps his man. Puck comes to the near corner. Romans cross ice through neutral ice. Into the Flyers zone off the ref, but puck settles down behind the Flyers goal. We're taking the near corner. Played to the blue line. Shot. Tipped in front. Sent wide. Rebound goes to the far corner. Shot through the blue ice to the near boards. Campbell just overskated it. Romans pick it up, send it across the blue line and in. Romans still with possession deep in the Flyer zone. They come up to the half boards, change direction. Campbell on his man, gives him a bump. Romans lose it. Middlehurst to the blue line. Not out yet. Off a player on the bench. .5:39 to go in the second period. Brown in to take the draw. He'll win it back to Tribble. Tribble changes directions. Gets it to Brown. Brown clears the zone to Mason. Mason to Arkema. He'll bring it in. Arkema. Cross ice. Tried to center that. It's taken down. Played to the blue line. And out. Tribble couldn't keep it in. Romans. Bring it up to the center ice. Brown to Tribble. And the Romans steal it and bring it back into their zone. To the far boards. Played behind the net to the near corner. Arkema steps around his man, gets the puck to the near corner and deep to Brown. Brown couldn't get a piece of it to get to Thompson. Romans with a good breakout pass. Tribble with a good interception to break that play up. He'll ride his man into the corner. Brown gets bumped. Centering pass. Comes out front to the blue line. Kept in. Romans in the far corner. Brown on his man. Centering attempt. Blocked in front. That puck will go back to the far corner. Romans try to play it off the boards. Send it out front. Loose puck. Skated by. Brown lifts that one to center ice. Romans fire that one back into the Flyer zone. Brown to Tribble. Tribble lifts that one a little too high. Just over the glass. .4:10 to go in the second period. Middlehurst in to take the draw. Won by the Romans to the blue line. Past everybody. Critchley giving chase. Romans pick it up. Critchley blocks that. That's enough. Gets a shot off just wide. Romans regroup at their blue line and bring it in. Into the Flyer zone. Campbell with a good backhand stick. Critchley gets bumped, but gets the puck out of the zone. Romans back in their zone. Regroup. Break through the Flyer zone. Shot wide of the net. Rebound goes to the half boards. Tried to play to the blue line. Martin broke that play up, but couldn't get it out of the zone. Ooh. Centering pass. Hopped over the Roman stick. He was alone in front. Campbell gets bumped. Couldn't quite find the puck. Comes to the far corner. Romans stepped around Hobor. He was ready to make that hit. Puck back behind the Flyers' goal. Centering. Comes up to the blue line. Kept in by the Romans. 3 minutes to go in the period. Campbell lifts that to the Flyers' blue line. Martin picks it up. Just played it off the Romans player. They'll steal it and bring it back in. Shot. Tipped high into the mesh. Brown's in to take the draw. No, Brown gets waved out. Late change by the Flyers. Monas. He'll win it to Campbell. Campbell fires it off the glass, around the boards to the blue line. Just kept in off a skate. Clark kicks that up to Brown. Brown in over the blue line. Just offside. Last second move at the blue line. Puts him offside. Brown's in to take the draw. He'll win that back to Campbell. Campbell gets it across to Thompson. Thompson sends it back to Campbell in the Flyer zone. Campbell to Brown. Brown gets the blue line. Monas with the shot high and wide. Rebound comes to Thompson at the blue line. He'll backhand that to Brown. at the half boards. Puck comes to the far corner. Romans play it back. Thompson pinches. Monis steps into his man. He'll be going to the box for that one. Two minutes for interference. .158 to go in the second period. Brown's in to take the draw. Won by the Romans. To the blue line. Played across. Back in deep. Shot. Blocker saved by Milks. Rebound goes up in the mesh. Romans win the draw. Get it across to Clark. Clark gets a piece of it and lifts that down the ice. Clark's in on the forecheck, applying some pressure. Romans bring it up through neutral ice. Way offside. Mason in to take the draw. He'll win it back. Tribble lifts it to the Romans blue line. They'll send it across ice and begin to break it in. Romans fire to the far corner. Tribble got there first. Hacks at it, but gets up in the mesh. .119 to go in the period. Mason in for the draw. He'll win it back to Tribble. Tribble sends it along the boards to the blue line, not out. Shot. Blocker saved by Milks. Played in front by Thompson to the near boards. Middlehurst getting pushed around along the boards. Thompson steps in to give him a hand. Puck comes up to the blue line. 1 minute to go in the period. I think they're sending both. .57 seconds to go in the first period, or second period rather. Mason back in to take the draw. Won by the Romans. Played to the blue line, kept in. Shot, saved by Milks. And he'll glove that for a rebound, or for a whistle. Change by the Flyers. Brown's in to take the draw. Brown wins it, but puck stayed there. Romans pick it up. To the blue line. One-timer. Didn't get all of it. Critchley gets a piece of it, fires that down the ice. Brown's in on the forecheck. Applying some pressure. Romans to the near boards. And over the Flyer zone. Lets one go. Shot way wide of the net. Rebound comes to the point. Brown on his man to break that up a little bit. Critchley backhands it to the blue line, not out. Romans dump that deep in the Flyer zone. 14 seconds to go in the period. Puck comes back, shot wide of the net. Rebound to the blue line. Stop there at the boards. Brown gets a piece of it to clear the zone. Shot wide of the net, and that'll do it for the second period. 1-0 after 2. Middlehurst is in to start this third period. He'll win it, but the Romans pick up the loose puck. Stopped at the blue line, brought in offside. Middlehurst back at the draw, wins it back to Hobor. Hobor sends it off the boards to Monas. Monas gets bumped. Gets the puck to the Romans' blue line, and they'll just send it the opposite direction. Hobor again. Back to Monas. He'll set it up for Middlehurst. Middlehurst down the wing. Tries to step around his man. Loses the puck, but picks it up again. Shot, tipped wide of the net. Campbell pinches in. Keeps play down deep. Monas gets bumped. Puck in the corner. Romans come up with it. Clark steps in to break that play up again. Puck around the near boards. Kept in by Clark. Romans play it behind the net to the far boards. Right from neutral ice. Middlehurst to Hobor. Hobor gets it up to Clark. Clark over the red line, fires it in. Flyers to go for a change. Stretch pass to the Flyers, blue line and in. Backhand shot, saved by Milks. Rebound comes all the way back to the blue line and out. Mason pokes at it. Backhands it to Brown, but it was behind him. Romans offside. Brown's in to take the draw. He'll win it back. Hobor fires it near boards. Nobody home. Romans dump it in. Hobor tries to chip it up the boards. Brown and Hobor along the far corner. Puck comes out. Romans capitalize. Backhand wide of the net. Campbell bumps his man. Puck centers. Clark sets it up for Mason. And some traffic. Sorry, Arkema. Arkema to Campbell. Campbell back to Arkema. Cross ice. Right to the Romans player. Dumped in. Wide of the Flyers net. Campbell behind his net. Setting it up. Tried to get that to Arkema. The Romans pick it off. There's puck everywhere. To the blue line. Kept in. Shot. Bad save by Milks. Campbell. Along the near corner. It's up to the half boards to Brown. Brown lift that out of the zone. Arkema on his man. Stretch pass. Past everybody. The Romans were changing. Hobor to Mason at the red line. Gets it in. Romans tried to play it up the boards. Kept it in deep by Mason. Along the far boards. Middlehurst. It's a bit of a high hit. Flyers are offside. They got to clear the zone. Stretch. That's going off the net. And icing. .12:02 to go in the third period. Middlehurst in for the draw. He'll win that back to Tribble. Tribble lets one go. Shot. Pad save by the Romans. Back to Tribble. Another shot. Off the stick. He'll glove it. Rebound. Comes to the far boards. Middlehurst. Try. Not quite to Thompson. Romans got a step. They'll pick it up in the far corner. Tribble. Backhands that to Thompson. Thompson will play it off the boards to Martin. Martin to Critchley. Critchley to Middlehurst. And Romans steal it. Tribble off a Romans player coming on the bench, or off the bench. Puck in neutral ice. Chipped around everybody by the Romans. Thompson just missed his man. Romans out. Centering pass. Comes to the blue line. Romans send it in to the half board. Shot. And Milks will cover that for a whistle. 11:07 to go in the third period. Brown's in to take the draw deep in the Flyer zone. Draw one to the near boards. Picked up by Brown behind the net. Fired off the far boards to Monis. Monis tried to get off the boards. Roman's player was all over him. Campbell to the blue line and out. Icing waved off. Clark, he'll get a whistle down to the far end. Brown's in for the draw. Won by the Romans. Loose puck. They'll keep it up. Chip it over the blue line. That'll roll all the way down for an icing. Brown again for the draw. He'll win it to Clark. Clark sets it up for Hobor. Hobor relines. Lets one go just wide. Monis tried to get it to Brown in the far corner. Picked up by the Romans. They'll pass it up to the blue line and out. Get the red line and chip it into the Flyer zone. Hobor bumps his man. Brown into some traffic. Loose puck in the far corner. Chipped out by the Romans. And they'll fire it behind the net. Hobor picks it up, fires it off the boards. Romans are there. Brown lifts it. High stick. Picked up by Clark. Clark sends it down the ice. The half boards. Gets taken down. And that'll be a Romans penalty. 2 minutes for tripping. .9:55 to go in the third period. Middlehurst in to take the draw. Scrum off the draw. Romans capitalize and they'll send it down the ice. Tribble in to pick up that puck. Romans player applying some pressure. Tribble gets it to Thompson. Thompson tried to send it back to Tribble. Tribble to Arkema. Center ice. Romans grab a piece of it and fire it down. Milks out to set it up. Leaves it for Tribble. Tribble to Mason. Romans come up with the puck. Romans behind the net. Middlehurst steals it and begins the breakout. Steps around one. In over the blue line. Drops it there for Arkema. Arkema chips it. Hobor gets a piece of it to get it to Middlehurst. Middlehurst to Campbell at the blue line. Back to Middlehurst. Just hops over his stick at the last second. Middlehurst centers. Shot. Saved by Romans. Arkema behind the net. To Middlehurst. Middlehurst trips. Falls into his man. Puck still behind the Romans net. Middlehurst. To Mason. Mason lets that go. And Romans get a piece of it and fire it down the ice. 35 seconds to go on the penalty. Hobor behind his net. Played to the corner. All three Flyers are right there. Brown got away with one. Brown steps around to hit. Romans pick up the puck and fire it in. Campbell to the far blue line. To Hobor. Gets it up to Martin. Martin tries to get to Mason, but picked off by the Romans. Campbell to Mason. Mason to Brown. Brown in over the blue line. Tries to send it back to Mason. Played off a Romans player. That'll go to Campbell. Campbell fires it to the far corner to Hobor. Hobor to Brown at the blue line. Brown gets it to Martin. Martin in over the blue line. Gets it to Brown. Brown gets hammered at center ice. Martin with a shot. Saved by the Romans. Rebound comes to the far corner. Critchley and Brown in the corner. Picked up by the Romans. Romans have a free neutral zone. And they'll dump it to the far corner. Thompson gets bumped. Centering attempt. Milks interrupts that one. Brown to Critchley. Critchley gets to the blue line and dumps it in. Martin. Well, Romans fired around the corner, around the boards. Tribble keeps it in, gets it to Martin. Loose puck in the feet. Center hit. Shot just wide. Romans regroup. Bring it up to center ice. Way over the blue line. .6:49 to go in the third period. Mason in to take the draw. Just outside the Flyers' blue line. He'll win it. Thompson sends it to Tribble. Tribble tries to get it to Monas. Romans player was there. Puck's in deep. Monas off the boards. Romans player steps into him. Shot. High, wide of the net. Rebound. And the Romans are going to the box again. That's why you can't celebrate for a penalty, boys. Unsportsmanlike. Offsetting minors. Brown's in to take the draw. Nope, got waved out. Monas. 6:29 to go in the third. Draw won by the Romans. They'll fire it off the far boards behind the Flyers net. Campbell had a look, gets it to Brown. Brown up to Monas. Monas over the Romans blue line. He'll get bumped. Brown steps in, keeps the puck along the far corner. Romans get a piece of it. Thompson almost kept it in to the blue line. Good play by Arkema. Romans get a piece of it and send it into the Flyers zone. Campbell. Cross to Hobor. Hobor at the blue line. Almost picked off by the Romans. They'll dump it back in. Campbell behind the Flyers net to the far boards to Arkema. He'll let it go. Romans were there waiting for it. Romans up front. Shot. Bad save by Milks. He'll get shoved in the net. Monas to Brown. Brown across to Arkema. Arkema loses it. And the Romans pick it up. They've got like 6 guys on the ice. In over the blue line. Shot. Saved by Milks. Centering pass. Shot. And Milks is there to cover it. Middlehurst in for the draw. Won by the Romans. Critchley almost grabbed that one. Centering pass picked off by Campbell. He'll get it to the blue line, not out. Into some feet. Clark, shot, wide of the net. Milks plays that to the near corner. Campbell off the boards. Clark chips it off the boards further. That'll go down. Just enough for icing. Middlehurst in again to take the draw. 4:51 to go. Middlehurst wins it to Campbell. Campbell fires it off the glass behind the net to the boards. Just kept in by the Romans. Critchley. Romans step into Middlehurst. And Middlehurst retaliates. This guy a little bump. Middlehurst for the draw. He'll win it back to Thompson. Thompson fires it behind the net to the near corner. Campbell checks up. Gets the puck to Middlehurst. Middlehurst across. Critchley. Critchley gets the red line and sends it the rest of the way in. Clark in on the forecheck. Romans fired around the boards to Campbell. He'll keep it in at the blue line. Gets bumped. Critchley with a good stick. Keeps the puck in deep. Played to the blue line. Kept in by Thompson. Thompson lets one go. Romans goalie with the pad save. Shot, block, or clearing attempt. Blocked in front by the Romans player. They'll send that the rest of the way, and that'll go for icing. Brown's in for the draw. He'll win it to Mason. Mason along the far boards, gets it back to Brown. Romans chip it off the glass. And they'll get a piece of it and send that length of the ice. That's going to go for icing. .342 to play in the third period. Brown's in to take the draw. Scrum off the draw, won by the Romans. They're into the Flyer zone. Cross ice pass, broken up by Mason. Romans played back to the blue line. Shot wide. Low. Nope. Pad save by Milks. Rebound comes to the near corner to Mason. Mason chips it around his player to get to center ice. Romans turn it around, come right back into the Flyer zone. Thompson backhands that to half boards. Loose puck, shot. Corner scores. .309 to go in the third period. Middlehurst wins the draw to Campbell. Campbell tried to get it to Monis. Romans bring it into the Flyer zone. Picked up, loose puck picked up by Middlehurst. Cross ice. Romans just dump it back into the zone. Hobor winds up, plays it off the boards. Shot off the post. Centering attempt. Romans player was coming in for it. Arkema to Middlehurst on his feet. Romans shot. Love down by Milks. .234 to go in the third period. Brown in for the draw, won by the Romans. The point shot, stopped in front by Tribble. Tribble clears that puck to the red line. And the Romans send it back in. Tribble to Brown. Brown off the boards. Tries to get it to Critchley. Critchley we stepped into. Right in front of us, no call. Flyers send that puck out. No icing. Critchley steps into his man. Thompson grabs that puck before it hits the blue line. Clearing attempt. Romans break out of their zone. Cross ice. Into the Flyer zone to the far corner. Brown Behind the net. Romans walk out with it. Loose puck in front. Shot. .138 to play in the third period. Middlehurst in for the draw. He'll win it to Martin. The Romans steal it. They'll get to the Flyers blue line and in. Shot. Stick saved by Milks. Rebound comes to Mason at the half boards. He'll play it back to Campbell. Campbell fired off the boards to neutral ice. Romans chipping into the Flyer zone. Campbell plays it off the glass to the blue line and out. Romans fire that back in. Guys, throwing it into neutral ice is not working. Pass to Mason. In over the blue line. Mason tries to step around his man. Not quite enough room. Romans over the Flyers blue line. Cross ice. Shot. Saved by Milks. Campbell gets it to the blue line and out. And Romans were offside. .47 seconds to play in the third period. Flyers pull their goalie for the extra skater. Brown's in to take the draw. Scrum draw. Monas picks it up, gets it deep in the far corner. Brown. Romans get a piece of it to Campbell. Campbell with the shot. Loose puck in front. Cleared to the blue line. Hobor fires it. Steered wide by the Romans goalie. Campbell centers it. Played off the boards. And that'll go for icing. 22.5 to go in the third period. Brown's in to take the draw. Brown wins it. Over skates. Fired back into the corner. Brown tries to center it. Romans get a piece of it to the blue line. Kept in by Campbell off the boards to Brown. 5 seconds to go. Romans get it clear it. And that'll do it for the game.